Welcome back, peeps. Back to Second Chance Garage. Been a while since I've made any videos. Haven't really done a lot of work out here. Just things going on. Life happens, as they say. I was going to do this little video today to get something going, and hopefully it'll lead to more. Not such a long wait. I ordered this off eBay. It's the Cut50. I know there's a lot of videos out there showing these. I'm just going to throw up my version of it and see how this thing works. Looks like from all the writing on here, I don't know if you can see that. Pretty high quality product. Looks like it was maybe made in Switzerland. I don't know, they make some high quality stuff over there. Let's see. Welding machine. Oh wait, here it is, right here. It says made in China. I better go ahead and get me one of these for the tariffs kick in again. Cost me an extra $150 to get it into the country. Box inside a box. All right. This is kind of like what we used to do to prank the kids, opening a present. Like a Russian nesting dolls. One inside one inside one. We got the cutting torch. Now this is the pilot start version. Most of the metal I'll be cutting on this truck is more than likely going to have paint on it, some rust, stuff like that. I don't want to. A lot of the videos I watched, if you got the type where you got to be contacting the metal in order to get the flame started, then you're going to run into issues whenever you have paint or rust. This seems like a pretty nice cutting torch here. Wasn't screwed all the way together. Got some nice denim cover covering the air line and the wires. Feels like denim. I don't know, I assume that maybe that'd be flame proof. I guess if this thing don't last very long, quits working, I can use it to patch my jeans. As you can see, I easily lifted that out with one hand. I'm by no means a strong person. I'd say this thing weighs 10 pounds maybe, if that. Pretty light, pretty small footprint. Got your air pressure gauge, your amperage dial in, on off switch, all your connections for your hose and wires. Nice ground clamp, pretty heavy duty. A whole 3 feet of ground cable here. It is a nice clamp though. Oh, what's else? Come with, looks like 3 more, 3 more each of the consumables, some hose clamps to put it together with, assembly manual. China could up their game on one thing, I wish it would be their rubber. together. This is the assemble your own power cord version. Was not prepared for that. Looks like I'm going to the store to get a plug. I don't have any of those laying around here. Let's see this little owner's main wall here. Before operating, read this main wall fully. For those of us here in the United States, this is a English version. I think that's what that EN stands for, English maybe. I thought with the printing on that box it would be printed in, what is Swiss? What does Swiss read? Umlauts? I don't know. Alright, let's see here. On-off switch, current controller, overload fault LED, power indicator, LED display, shows you the current amperage, the port for the plasma torch, the ground cable connection, air gas connection, at the back of each welder there is a screw and a label provided the necessary grounding. Before operating the unit, it's necessary to ground the shell of the welding apparatus by means of a cable with not less than 6 millimeter diameter. I don't know. Maybe they're playing tricks on me. I don't see a grounding clamp at the back of the unit. Oh, that is not an air pressure gauge. That is a manometer. So that tells you your manhood, I guess, when you're using this thing. Well, it goes up to 150. I'm not sure how that's going to work because I run about 200. Might have to do some modifications on that baby and see if we can get that up to around 200. 4T, 2T procedure functions. 2T means to start cutting when press the torch switch and stop cutting when the torch switch is released. 4T action style means, now this is the way it's printed here. I'm not speaking in broken English. 4T action style means output arc striking current when press torch switch for first time. Current up to standard cutting current while releasing the torch switch. Press the torch switch again after cutting is finished. At this time, the cutting current begins down to end current and retain it. The cutting machine stops outputting current after releasing torch switch for the second time. I'm sure all you people out there and watching this understood that about as well as I did. Gas delay setting, the time, I think this is Swiss, it says gas, G-A-Z, gas, Z, Z is in Z, for anybody that's watching this in Europe. Gas delay setting at the time of airflow after the cutting torch. Okay, so that's how long your gas blows, air blows after you let go of the switch. And I don't see that setting either. I'm not sure. I think we got a general instruction unit here for models that I don't have. Maintenance procedures. Initiating operation. Unpacking. Whoa. Looks like I did that too early. I should have read this first. Unpack all items out of the box and make sure you received all items listed on the packing list. Packing list must have got left out. Whoever was checking their packing list forgot to pack my packing list. Well, assemble the pistol. In the beginning. Any of you crew heads out there will appreciate this instruction. In the beginning, good overpowered evil that was all man's sins. Turn the power switch on. Take up a position at the unit in which you can easily read the air pressure. Press pistol switch. Adjust air valve to approximately 6 to 7 bar. Is that what manometer reads? A bar? 6 to 7 bar. Okay. So, I guess, I don't know. That'll be done later when I can okay Google and find out what the hell 6 or 7 bar equals in manometer readings. Otherwise known as PSI. Generally accepted value range of air pressure is 5 to 8 bar. You can now perform tests as needed. Should remember not to reduce your air pressure too much because it may damage the consumables. All right, cutting, drag cutting. Whoa. That's surely going to offend somebody. It might get you to go to jail. We don't cut drag around here. We just leave them be. To each their own. I don't care what you do, just leave me out of it. Distance cutting, weekly activities. Wow. Oh, by the way, the garage is cleaned up a little bit, so we got all kinds of room for extra activities. Blow off, verify the proper operation of airflow. Blow off or suck in dust or dirt from the entire machine, including the air filter. So, before you use this unit, you got to suck or blow to get the dirt off of it, whenever you prefer. I don't judge. You do what you do. In some cases, it may be advantageous to perform cutting with the tip of the pistol at a height of approximately a 16th to the 1/8 inch above workpiece. Okay, so this is just pretty general, blah blah yada yada. Here's some drilling through instructions. Not sure what the difference in that and a regular cut is. Anyways, doesn't say anything on how to put this unit together. I guess we're just gonna, oh wait, we got a blurry picture here. I don't know if you can see this. It says compressed air in right there. So that's your instructions, how to use this. I guess, let's see. Two extra tip what do you call it? Thing that goes on here to hold your tip away from your work. Not a guard. Is it a guard? Tip. Yeah, you know. You know. If I know, then you know. Luckily, my plumbing project the other day required me making a trip to the store, and I grabbed some Teflon tape while I was there because I was out. So just got lucky that I happen to have this over there on the wall. I try to keep some around, but that don't always happen. Teflon tape, not my favorite thing. I prefer pipe dope. It's a lot easier to use pipe dope. You just glob it on there and tighten it down. This Teflon tape stuff's confusing. You gotta wrap it the right way or it comes undone when you're screwing the fitting in, and it's just way too much concentration. I don't like doing that. This is let's see what I can do here with some well, it's not a 1/2 inch, it's a 9/9/16. That must be one of them metric deals from Switzerland, I guess. Well, metric don't fit either, so take note on your assembly. That's why I like to keep these around. Left-handed wrenches. You can make these fit anything. If they don't stay on, you just put a little tack weld on there until you get everything tight, and then you can cut it back off. I thought this came with, I've got 3 of these extra, I don't even know what these things are called. The tip cover. 3 of these, 2 of these electrodes. And 3 of these cups, tips, whatever this thing is. All the videos I've seen, there's some ceramic pieces in here. I think they're ceramic. Maybe they're white. Made out of something white. Oh, okay. I guess that was a different version. I got everything I need here then. Scratch that. Maybe that was on the version that you had to have contact to start it, get it to start cutting with. There's a method to this madness that I call, or people call, Teflon tape. It's kind of similar to the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey law that you learned back whenever you was first putting your nuts on. So you remember which way to go to start it. And every time I put on Teflon tape, I remember that law. And then by the time I put on more Teflon tape, I forgot it again. So I got to relearn every time I use Teflon tape. Surely, I think I'll Google that. See if I can find some videos on YouTube on how to remember which way to put on Teflon tape. That wasn't too bad though. Now, being that picture is the only thing we had for instruction wise, that goes on. A little ice falling off the roof there, if you heard that. Put this little mounting bracket on here. Oh boy. I wonder what size these nuts are. They're about that size. That's be about a 1/4 inch, I would assume. I don't know. And there's 3 nuts stacked on this stud holding this here thing, so I'm not sure. I'm just gonna take one off. I don't think we need to double nut it. The second nut on there is to keep the bracket spaced out away from the casing, I would imagine, so it doesn't hit this screw head and fan guard here. It's a blistering 43 degrees, maybe a little bit colder out here in the garage since I don't have heat, so I'm not sure how much of this video you're going to get today. And on top of that, I got that fits pretty damn good right there. That's some tight ass Swiss engineering. Whoo! I'm gonna have to get a wrench to get in there. That was fitting in there like Swiss watchmakers. Man, that's a tolerance there. I know it's been a while since I made a video. I just haven't been out here working on anything. I come out here a couple weeks ago, tried to get in the mood to do it again. And I got to looking at all the metal I need to cut out and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I thought to myself, hey self, you really need a better way to deal with this metal. I went into work the next week and they announced they was giving us an extra few dollars on the Christmas bonus this year, so self bought self a Christmas present. I'm not sure this should have been to my top of my priority list, but oh, by the way, last videos I made when I was doing a little welding, I had my nephew's welder and tank. I haven't ever went and got me a tank of gas for my welder, so rather than unhook all his stuff and just borrow his tank from him, he let me take all of it, which I believe is a Hobart, nice unit. I bought this Eastwood MiG 175. At the time I bought it, I had a jet boat, aluminum jet boat. I thought if I ever need to weld up anything on the jet boat, I'd like to have something, so I bought this Eastwood unit that comes with a spool gun. And still haven't got a tank, but he needed his welder back. So I started looking around, watched a bunch of videos on YouTube, people using 023, 024, depends on where you buy it, 023 or 024 welding wire, solid core you're supposed to use gas with. I went and bought me some wire, but I still haven't got a tank yet. So I just did a little stitch welding on some panels to test it out and see how it worked. And if you're in a pinch, don't have gas for your welder, this 023 that I bought and stitch weld some stuff on here, other than being a little dirty when you're done, I might just use it that way all the time. I don't even know if I'm going to get a tank right now. This 023 is good for up to 1/4 inch metal, which I don't think I'll ever be welding anything more than that. Now granted, if I'm going to be welding a lot of stuff that's heavier gauge, I will change up to the heavier wire with and get me a tank. This power cord here, I'm no electrician. It's blue, yellow and green and brown. Green usually means ground. I assume that's ground. Blue and brown, I have no idea. This must be more of that Swiss engineering. All the wiring in my house garage is black and white. I think I got red in my 220, whatever that means. Any of you electricians out there want to elaborate on that? This goes out to the nozzle. All right, G. I'm not sure what. I might have to go get my trifocals for that one. It says GRS IWLET. Now, not sure what that means, but just knowing the general workings of one of these things, I'm gonna assume that's supposed to be gas inlet. I don't know. GRS IWLET. GERS ELET. So I think I'm gonna take that fitting back off there. I'm not hooking up a hose every time I need to use it, so this needs to be a quick connect fitting, and that's not what that is. I'm gonna have to do a little more investigating, because there ain't no way this line is going on that. Yeah, that's that. I don't know if you can see that. That's gonna work real good there. That hose that goes in on here is a smaller diameter than the actual fitting, and yeah, that ain't. I'm kind of disappointed. I thought stuff from Switzerland was a lot more well designed than this. Let's see. We didn't need that part anyway. We just tack that wire lead on that little unit there and break out the welder and fix that. All right, we got a ground wire here with the little nub on it. Goes in here like that and then twists like that. This will be your ground hook to your I'm just curious. What that other fitting's for. Uh-oh. Pop the seam on the shielding here. I'll take that side inside and take that inside and stitch it up before it comes apart. Went on pretty easy. This unit here's got a spot in it, and it's only 2 terminals, so it only goes one way. That goes on there like that. I tell you, whoever designed this thing must have thought anybody putting it together is going to have elvish hands or something. And the ground wire is soldered to the terminal. It's not just crimped on, so that's a good thing. All right, easy part's done. Figured out these airlines is a different story. GERS ELET. Huh. I guess this is going to go on there. where's it go to? Am I missing something? I was. This goes in here. This is already got some sealing around the threads. Okay, I apologize. Those Swiss guys do know what they're doing. It was my stupidity that screwed that part up. This black color on this regulator made it hard to see that hole. Now I've done put a kink in my hose. This may not work right now. Boy, I don't know. Wonder if I can move that over there and move that over there. You guys know if that makes a difference? Huh. Now that's done put a kink in my, got a hitch in my giddy up. This damn thing here, every time you bend it to get to the regulator, it just folds in half. Kind of like my elbow. Every time I get a fork or 12 ounce in it, it bends like this up to my mouth. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Try this little trick that I learned from somebody. I don't know if it'll work. Be better if I could feel my fingers. It's got to be colder than 43 out here. I'd say it's more like 33. You see my breath? You know, if they'd have sent me my packing list, my parts list, I'd have known that that piece was laying there, and it wasn't just some of my junk that's spread out. It was actually parts for this thing. I'm gonna write a strongly worded letter to the manufacturer of this unit, which is notice, Forbin throwing unit. That must be one of them things for they stand there and toss it up over like the strongman competition. The Forbin throwing unit. Yep. I've never seen one of them before. Anybody all right, man, these are some pretty high quality hose clamps too. They're yeah. I think maybe my best bet is to take this case off and replace this whole hose. Ah, you know what? I have an idea. I know that's usually dangerous. I guess it's in there. Let's see if we can't finagle this situation. Yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea. Oh well. It's not kinked. It's not necessarily in one piece still though. So, all right, that's that. Let's get these hose clamps put on this. See if we can get this unit to function. I'm gonna have to I've already lost one of my guards. Did I say it came with 2 or 3? I'll have to rewatch the video. Let's see here. This is gonna have to tighten down on here. Go the tape. Let's go the tape. All right. Any of you guys out there ever struggle with your hose clamp orientation? That's kind of one of my pet peeves whenever I got hose clamps on something. They all got to be facing the same direction. No purpose. Just bothers me. But on this, I'm not really concerned with it. All right. Since I got that a little deformed and too hot, I might be replacing it anyways. If I can find some more line. I'm gonna take this back out and see if I can find a quick connect fitting. Screws in there. Hose fitting. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty tiny. I don't think I got any that small. I got fittings somewhere, but I don't know where they are. Kind of hard to concentrate sometimes after that shot I took to the head. Oh, got these today at Harbor Freight, the wire wheel store. These Hardy work gloves, $4.99. Maybe I should have had these on the whole time. They fit real nice and tight. I usually get, well, I got small hands, so I got to buy the mediums to get them to fit tight enough that I can actually work in them. Otherwise, I got floppy tips. And I bought me some tinted safety glasses to use with this thing too. And I've lost those. There they are over there. They was $1.99. I spent a total of $7 today for supplies to get to use this thing, and I don't have a plug for it, so I'm still not going to get to use it. Oh. To be continued. Alright, part 2. Went to the getting place and gotten this plug in. Forgot to mention in the first video, this is supposed to be 110 or 220. You just put on whatever plug you're going to run and it automatically switches, I guess. Means I'm not an electrician. I'm assuming it knows what it's doing. I got basic knowledge, just enough to get myself hurt is usually how that goes. And it's even colder now, so I'm not sure how long I'm gonna make it out here. 36 degrees, so that's actually colder than that in here. This simple little plug-in you can buy. Not really made for this small diameter of a wire, so the clamp here that holds it in the case won't tighten down enough. I usually find something to put around the wire that will increase the diameter a little bit. Guess I should have made sure I had some of those before I went to the getting place too. Let's see how this goes. Assembly tip. Regular hose clamps, you can use a nut driver or a flat blade. Apparently the ones that come from Switzerland, you have to have a Phillips or a nut driver. Put that about right there. Snug. Don't clamp it too tight and cut through your wiring insulation. A couple wraps of this here electrical tape. I know you guys are on the edge of your seats in suspense watching me do this part. But some people may want to see it, I don't know. Guess we'll see. My cordless drill is up in the attic on another in progress project, so having to bust out the old manual tools here and ain't used to it. Kind of got my wrist hurting already. I don't know, see that? Filled up all the gap in there. Tighten this back down. Snug it up, don't have to be extremely tight. Just want it tight enough so if you pull on the cord, it doesn't pull it out of the terminal screws inside. Like so. Well, needs to go in a little further. guesstimated wrong. That ought to do it there. These just slide out, loosen up your terminal screws. It's got a little metal tab to go in between the screw and the wires so you don't pinch your wires into. Get a little twisty-do on there. Yellow with green, that's going to be your ground. The way I understand it is, when you're running something 220, these other two wires, doesn't matter which one goes to which side. I'll fire this puppy up and we kick the breaker, we'll know that my learning was wrong. We have a plug. Also, I found my quick connect fitting out there earlier. Let's see if we can burn something up. Maybe. We can find some metal. "60 PSI, test 1. How about if you plug it in first, stupid? Same plug as the welder, by the way, in case you was wondering. Alright, we got contact. Too loud, I don't know if you can hear that or not. Zero. It says 10 at the bottom, but when I turn it there, it says 0, so. That says 20. Now we're almost close. Dial says 50 and the gauge, or the disc says 50 and that says 55, so it varies from one end to the other. We'll set it at 30. I think this is about an 1/8 inch material. Get my high-dollar tinted glasses here so I don't burn my retinas out. I need all I can get anymore. I can't see nothing. I know these glasses ain't right for what I'm doing, but they're gonna work for now. I'll do it like they do it on the TV shows. I'll just start the arc and turn my head for the rest of it. That's pretty cool. I cut through that like butter on 30. I think this is 1/8 inch. I'm not positive. Maybe it's slightly thinner. I already took my looking glasses off now, so I can't see it. That was pretty dandy little machine for what I'm going to use it for. I'll be zipping through body panels in no time with no oh, you can see my breath now. I told you it was cold out. I don't know if you can see that. Cut any little way you want. Even blasted right through the part that my son thought he was learning to weld on. I gotta say, I've never used a expensive plasma cutter. I don't know if they work any better than this one, but for what I'm gonna be doing, I think this thing is all. I've seen this in the videos too. After you turn it off, it'll stay on for 10 or 15 seconds because of the capacitors have to drain back out. But I had the air pressure on 30 psi on that, or no, 60 psi on that little demonstration. When I get out here and start messing with it, I'll vary the pressure and speed and amps and see what else I can do, how well it does. I'd say that's pretty good, really. I was going too fast to make a really good cut, but not too terrible slag buildup on the back side. Where'd that piece go that I cut off? I don't know if you can see that. Little bit of slag that would need cleaned off if you're gonna use that for something. Ow, it's still hot. Not too much slag on this side though. Yeah, I'd say anybody on a budget or not going to be using it for professional use, I give it 2 thumbs up. We'll follow up in a little while and see if everything's still working like it should. If not, I'll have to see what return shipping to Switzerland is on it, get my money back or whatever I got to do. So hopefully we'll be getting some progress videos up here shortly, so stay tuned, hit the like and subscribe.